Today I am installing, I done one last year, but this one I'm doing the same one. The guy found us from YouTube in Columbus, Ohio, but he wants, this is something a little bit different. He wants 4 gauge and then 2 odd gauge right there. 0 gauge and 2 odd gauge right there that I'm gonna run. He's gonna run a Sundown Salt 4 and all Sundown speakers and audio control LC2I with the bass knob from front Sundown at the run. That's a weird bass knob. See that? That's a bunch of phone jack looking. Anyway, what I'm looking at right there, I took all the back seat and everything out. Oh, he does want the battery, the excess power right there is a big battery. So the problem right now I'm looking at is the odd gauge that I got. I want to run it this way, the passenger side. My problem is, if you go over here and look at, you're gonna see, you're gonna pull that out, you're gonna see something in there, the booth that go up there. I'm gonna try to see that, but the problem that I might be having is everything right here is solid right there. You can't see any wire coming out. See, that's my problem right there. So usually what I usually do, if it was my wire, because I know my wire is long enough right there, like I usually do just a 4 gauge, not odd gauge. I ran it over there, and there's a bunch of rooms right there that you can drill a hole or something. But over here, I don't have any rooms. I'm gonna be struggling for this. Now another thing that I can do, I can run it down underneath over here and make that work, but then you know you gotta tie, zip tie and everything else. Those gonna be a little bit more challenging right there. So I don't know yet. We'll check it out. I'm gonna check some more. So I'm going to take this battery out. I mean, this is an aftermarket. It's not an aftermarket. This is the battery, but you can use the what size that I think, oh, it's a 5/16 socket right there. You can remove the ground for let me see if I can remember all this stuff. Yeah, you remove the power first and then you move the ground later, and then when you put the battery back in, you want to put the ground first, then the power later. So I'm gonna remove all that once I take the battery and everything out. I think this one is what size is that? Not sure exactly what size. No more than it's more than ½ an inch. Let's see. Okay, it is 9/16 right here. You can use a 9/16, and here I took the battery out already. I took the 7mm right there. The 10mm right there is a bunch of socket. I use a drill and make it faster. So I'm looking over here. If you can look out here, since I took this 7mm out. There's 2 of them. I move it back this way, and then you can see the rubber boot right there. That you see that rubber boot right there? That rubber boot right there. I'm gonna take a knife and splice it a little bit. I'm gonna push a wire out. I'm gonna run the 0 gauge, which is, people call it odd gauge. I'm gonna make a hole right here because the battery is gonna be up here like that. So I got enough room to run the power wire back over here, and that's probably the easiest way. And then I cannot run that side because I'm about 1.5 feet short, and I don't want to do that, and that'd be more work for me. And here I go running the odd gauge. And in the back over here, I'm gonna take 2 screws right there, 2 nut screw, 2 bolt 7mm right there. Let's look right there. Take 2 over here and 2 in the back, so there's 4 of them. I'm gonna pull it out and take that out, put it underneath here just in case. And I always check before I move the car, so it's gonna be always underneath there so people don't kick and fall over anything like that. Move the light out, and as you can see right there, the rubber boot right there. I'm using a DeWalt tool right there. I'm using this plug-in right here. I don't like to use this because I don't have, I couldn't put any extension on here. This is a really good tool, but I'll show you both way. But I think the best way is to get you one of these right there. I mean, like I said, this gonna be hard, but if you got a 4-gauge wire, it's okay. You can just push a hole through the booth. But when you do have an odd gauge, you're gonna have to do something different. But so I did that. I ran about a foot long this tool right there. And if you ask me what's it called, I off my mind I can't remember what it is, but it's definitely for a drill. You can get it at anywhere like Lowe's and Home Depot. They're about 15-20 bucks. And use one of these right there. You can Harbor Freight got it for about $5. So use this and just push it through so this one will run an odd gauge, because you're gonna need an extension. As you can see, if I do the hole right here, I'll be able to go up there and make a hole. But here's another way that I want to show you. Now if you got a regular drill like this, I'm gonna show you. You see the drill right here, it's so hard to get to. See where my hole is at up there? And then you can do it right here. Be a little bit tough, but hey, sometimes you have to do it. Then you got to kind of figure where it's gonna be at. But this is fine too. I mean, this is another way. Yeah, actually I looked at front already. You can literally do that, make a hole right there. But I'm not gonna do that since I done it already. But whatever you want to do, whatever's easy for you, just do it that way. I made a hole through. Now I'm running the wire underneath here. Go underneath right there. Try to hide it as much as possible so you can't see anything. Right there, running back with the remote wire, just in case the high-low converter is staying on too long. Even though I know it's gonna turn on, this Cadillac probably just turned off a couple seconds later, but some of them are 2 minutes. So I ran the wire out here, put all that back. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pull this a little bit, not to bend anything, pull a little bit. You can basically see the back. If you come to the back, you can pull this panel out a little bit. You can see your wire right there, so you pull your wire. So now I ran everything. We turn on the light. I ran everything, the base knob controller from there. I got power right there, so I'm gonna have the ground right there. I'm gonna remove that piece out to run the ground, same as this. I'm gonna remove this. In order to remove this part, you're gonna have to flip this over, and then you just pull it straight out. It'll come out. Just go easy with it, both hands. I usually put it right underneath there so you don't step and break anything like that. I'm gonna basically hook an amp right there and the battery right there. But before that, I gotta put this heavy Sundown speaker 12 in first, because it's really heavy. And here's the factory amplifier. We're gonna have to run the output from here. This time I'm gonna do a little bit different. I'm gonna do the I'm still gonna do the rear speaker. So I'm gonna run that wire back to the I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do something different just because a lot of people, oh yeah, this and that, about why do you run only one output from the radio to the line out converter. I'm running two this time, just to prove some points. So here we go. I'm gonna run the speaker wire and I'll show you what color it is. Okay, I do it differently. I'm gonna run it from the subwoofer output, which is dark blue. White is I'm running to the positive, which is the red wire, and then light green black is the negative. That's for the subwoofer. That's up here, but you cannot hook it up right there because there's no wire right there. See, there's no wire. You gotta hook it up a certain way, but you don't want to do all that. Just come up here and I'm gonna run just that wire. I'm not gonna do anything else because most Cadillac you can just do it like this. I forgot to test if his subwoofer, his factory subwoofer, work or not. Hopefully it work. If it don't work, then we're gonna have to do an alternative way, different wire I should say. So running that wire, I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna put my amps and everything at, and then I should be hooking up the power and everything, I should be done. Well, not yet, but yeah. So this is a dual 4 Sundown. I'm gonna run the positive to positive, negative to negative, and then I ran that wire back over here. It's gonna meet each other, and then it's gonna run out that way. I'm just gonna use one wire instead of 2 wires. Actually, I could use both, but I didn't have enough wire right here, so I got the positive right there, negative right there, and then opposite side coming from the speaker gonna right there, and then coming right here. So now I got enough wire for the speaker to run. You're done with this, you want to make sure, because the previous owner or the owner, someone put the speaker in there before they wire it up. I cannot put it like straight like that, level this thing to the front, the top and the bottom right there. I had to slant it to the right a little bit because what they did, they didn't get the screw right there to the wood. They missed the wood, so usually you gotta kind of adjust it around. You gotta crisscross it to make sure you're not passing the wood. So when you screw it in, you're gonna screw it to like a hole, not a wood. Same as this one, I do the same thing because I don't want to use the same holes that they have. Testing is 1.1, which is 1, that's considered as 1, so it's not gonna be exactly 1, but it is 1 ohm that I'm running right now. I drill a hole right here. You don't want to use this connector right there. You will burn them up like a day or two. So you want to make a hole right here and run the speaker wire in there. But I want to tie it first over there so it don't actually pull right there. So I'm tying a knot right there, and then I put the top one inside like this, and then push this thing back in. Just like so, and pull it out. Now I'm gonna use my real tool right there. This is called hydraulic crimper, and then a cutter right here, because this is a 2-aught gauge right there. It's really thick wire. I'm gonna have to use the black wire as power, because that's all the power he got for me, and I don't want to use my wire. And then he said something, so I'm gonna use that for that, and then I'm gonna tape the black one so I know it's black wire. Oh crap. Alright, right here we got a Sundown right here, and as you can see right there, Sundown Salt 4. We run the RCA jack to the line LC2i Pro right here. We got the speaker input from the speaker subwoofer that I mentioned earlier. You got positive, you got the negative. You don't have to do the right side, you just do the on this model, just do one side. And you got a remote out to the amp right there, to the amp input right there. I didn't run the remote that I ran earlier from the front. I didn't have to do that. And then you got power to the battery, and then the power from the battery out front to here. And then I made a separate ground because I do not like to have 4 or 5 feet of ground. And then I got the ground right here for the LC2i. I talked to the tech support at the audio control. The best thing to do is put on GTO right here, and then at a 20 kilohertz, and right here put it on ISO so you don't get that road noise. So all of these right there, you can adjust better. This is loud. I can't show you how it sounds, but it is loud. The customer love it. Okay, there's a customer right here. His name is Juan. Hey, so what do you think? I mean, I know you heard it. What do you think?
This motherfucker sounds real good, and it gets down, buddy. It definitely get down. Hey, this who you need to come see, man. He get you all the way together. Come see him, man. This the man right here, Brian, out here on Sullivan, 2741. Come holler at him, man. He gonna get you all the way together. For sure. This motherfucker right here sounds
really good. Imagine if it's a truck, a Tahoe, oh my god, or a Honda Accord or something like that. But anyway, yes, this is Juan right here. That's his car, and it sounds great. I mean, everything. You don't see any wire right there. The only thing you see right here is the the voltage on here, and he's gonna mount it himself. I don't want to screw the here. I would have screwed down here, but I wouldn't. I don't want to do that. And if you go to the front, everything's covered right there. You got ground, everything, power's already hooked up really good. And I did kind of extend this a little bit. It's okay right here. Everything gonna be hot right there anyway. I zip tie it really good. And actually, you can flip that up a little bit. Kind of right here. And that remote wire, I didn't do anything because I meant to run it to the over here, but that line out converter does everything already. So I'm good right here, and I use a 250 amps fuse, and it doesn't have any of this put in. So yeah, he's ready to go. He's happy, and hopefully he doesn't crank it up all the way up yet, because he had to wait for 3 days. I mean, not wait for 3 days, listen up for 3 days to